All right, welcome. We will just give everyone online just 1 minute to enter the room and then we'll get started. If you guys could let me know when attendees have logged in. I think we may be ready to get started. Today is Tuesday, August 16th, 2022, and this is our regular board meeting. My name is Jeff Bedard. As a reminder, it's been some time since we've been together. I'm sitting next to Dr. Mary Jo Yannicone, who is the superintendent of the school district, and today we kick off the 2022-2023 school season. So we're excited about that. I was excited to see so many of these projects physically, and I know a lot behind the scenes to get all the education ready for the season, roll through the summer, and I understand we have an update today on some of those summer projects, so I'm excited for that, but most excited for the Pledge of Allegiance, so let's stand and do that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A reading of the mission statement. The mission of the school district of Springfield Township is to educate and develop all students as learners and citizens who are high-achieving, resilient, and responsible in a changing global community. Let's go to roll call on the screen.
Mr. Needleman.
Hi, here. Excuse me.
Mr. DeFranco. Dr. Etlin.
Here.
Mrs. Green.
Here.
Mrs. Hubley.
Here.
Mrs. Hughes. Mrs. Slapinski.
Here.
Dr. Taratuski.
Here.
Mr. Bedard.
Here. And Mr. Needleman, good job voting for yourself in the first meeting.
It's primary day, right? I do try.
Just one announcement from a procedural standpoint. The board, at its discretion, may videotape all or any portion of public board meetings subject to the limitations set forth in Policy 006 meetings. Board meetings will be broadcast on Friday afternoon following each board meeting. And with that, we will jump right into our main event, reports and information from the superintendent.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bedard, and welcome everybody. Welcome back for the new school year. It's great to have you with us. We had a very busy summer in the district, as you had noted, and we're very much looking forward to getting everybody back in school. New teachers will be back with us next week. The following week, our full staff will rejoin us, and students on Tuesday, September 6th. So we are in the last few weeks of getting ready for the new school year, and we've been obviously busy working as a result. I want to share a little bit of information about the summer. We hosted a very robust summer program for several hundred ESY and Spartan Academy students. I want to thank our coordinators, Nicole Schrage, Krista Keister, and Yamila Kent, for all of their hard work, and our teachers and staff who worked with our students all summer long. We'd also like to thank our transportation department, who's worked all summer to transport those students as needed and run a lot of other runs this summer. So many people think our transportation department is off in the summer. They are not. They've had really no vacation. And so I'm very grateful to our bus drivers and our transportation team. I also want to recognize and thank our administration. We've had 2 summer presentations that we were invited to give, real honors for the district as representatives. First of all, in July, our district team presented at the Delaware Valley Consortium for Equity and Excellence on belonging. It was the Conference on Belonging, and we were asked to be one of the few presenters there as a model school district. And so we were very grateful for our leadership team to be able to have that opportunity, and got a lot of really positive feedback from the county and beyond on the work that we're doing in the district around sense of belonging. We also had our high school team invited to present at the Pennsylvania Association of School Administrators School Leadership Conference just a few weeks ago. They presented on our Flex program and the opportunities we've had at the high school in particular for student voice. And so, again, a lot of really positive feedback. A number of districts had tried the Flex program over the last few years and abandoned it at the first signs of difficulty. And our team really persevered. I want to congratulate our faculty, our students, and our administrative leadership for the work they did. And it was great that they were recognized at the state conference just a few weeks ago. As was mentioned a few minutes ago, the fall sports season is underway. Last week, actually, our golf and football teams joined us. And this past Monday, just yesterday, the rest of the fall teams joined us. It's really busy on the fields and in the pool. We have almost 60 kids out for water polo alone, and things are moving quickly. We've already had a few competitions, if you can believe that, for the golf team. And so I want to recognize the hard work of our athletic department and our maintenance and grounds crews, who made sure that our fields and facilities were ready for the start of the season on time, and they are in great shape. So things are moving very well with our summer programs. As Mr. Bedard mentioned, this is our new year, and so school begins. I want to make sure everybody knows school begins on Tuesday, September 6th for all of our district students. We have had a few phone calls in my office asking about the first day of school. I want to remind the community that our district calendar is on the website. It's right under the quick links section, and you can readily get access to not only this year's calendar, but the next 3 years of calendars, so you can plan ahead as a family. I also want to let families know that we now have a comprehensive district calendar of events published. So we've worked as an administrative team to pull together into one document all of the major events at all 4 schools and district-wide, and that calendar of events is also available on that same calendar quick link, so that if you have children in multiple schools, you can see that we've worked to avoid conflicts and make sure that we have a reasonable schedule for families with multiple children in particular. Our parent organizations have also been included in the development of that calendar, and so all of those meetings are also pre-populated there as well. And finally, with regard to the start of the new school year, all families will be receiving their opening letters from principals this Thursday afternoon. I know that families are eagerly awaiting information about their children's teachers, in particular at the elementary schools. That information will be out in just a few days. Thursday afternoon, all 4 schools will distribute their letters at the same time, and all the detailed information that we hope you are looking to receive will be shared. And then any questions you have, please don't hesitate to direct them to the principals. They'll do their best to answer your questions. I want to welcome our new student representative, Sarah Herzik, who's here with us this evening. Sarah is a junior at the high school. I was very impressed in the interview process with Sarah's dedication to our school community and her preparation for our interview. She's very ready to join the board. She will be gathering student updates each month, beginning next month, and she'll be with us at our regular board meetings once a month, the second meeting for the remainder of the school year. So Sarah, welcome. Want to mention to you in the board agenda, in the personnel agenda, I know we've heard a lot about the hiring shortages across the nation. I want to tell you that our hiring season has been very fruitful. We've actually been very fortunate to be able to take advantage of a rich applicant pool from across not only the local region, but beyond. We are, as you'll see in the personnel agenda, you have I think it's an 11-page personnel agenda. We have a lot of hires on tonight. Our administrators have worked really diligently to staff their buildings. We still do have a few positions that are in process or open for September. We have a few weeks left to work on that and get it finished. Any interested candidates should check out our website to learn more about available openings and how to submit an application. In particular, we have a number of openings in instructional support staff, and we have a few bus driver openings, though our runs are staffed. So we're ready to go with transportation for the first day. In the academic affairs agenda, you're going to notice that we have a number of our annual contracts with outside groups, several student placement agreements for students who are enrolled elsewhere, our student codes of conduct, which, as I mentioned earlier to the board, these codes of conduct are essentially unchanged from last year. There were a few minor adjustments as a result of last spring's policy updates. And so we made sure our codes of conduct are in line with our policies. And then finally, you have an updated district health and safety plan for the next 6 months. It has been revised to reflect the most current guidance from August 11th from the CDC. It is a requirement under the ARP ESSER grant that every 6 months we review the plan and reaffirm our commitment to whatever the board agrees to. The plan has not changed in the following ways from last spring. Those infected with COVID-19 can still return to work or school after 5 days. Good personal hygiene will always be encouraged for all of our students and staff. Washing your hands, keeping your hands to yourself, all good hygiene in a school setting. We're going to continue to clean and sanitize our buildings and follow all the recommended guidance with regard to air ventilation, et cetera. We're going to continue to track local and county data and report our cases to the Office of Public Health as we are required for any communicable disease. And we're going to continue to maintain a resource page on our website for families who are interested. As a result of the wide availability of the vaccine and greater overall exposure to the infection over the past 2 years, the CDC has modified the recommendations, and we've then reflected in the plan as follows. Schools are no longer viewed as high-risk congregate settings, such as hospitals, nursing homes, or correctional facilities. So they've adjusted some of the requirements, which are going to make it much easier for us here at school on a day-to-day basis. The Office of Public Health and the Pennsylvania Department of Health are referring all districts to the CDC for guidance. They're no longer giving independent guidance. Students and staff no longer need to quarantine if they're exposed and asymptomatic, but not testing positive, so they can come to school as usual. Contact tracing and social distancing are no longer required, and so we will no longer be doing social distancing or contact tracing in the schools. And testing will be available, but it's not required for any group of staff or students, as we did last year, earlier in the year, for example, with student athletes. And so we really are hopeful that this year we're going to see a transition to treating COVID as we do any other communicable disease, and that students, staff, and families will experience the school year as typical. Okay. And then finally, I have a presentation I'm going to share with you, our Spartan Spotlight. And as Mr. Bedard mentioned, I want to highlight let me just make sure I'm on page 1. I want to highlight our summer programs. So let me just make sure I'm in the document correctly. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen, so give me 1 minute. I'll make it as large as I can. Oh my God. It's loading. So we have had a really busy summer, and I want to thank everybody who's been involved in making sure that we are ready for the new school year. I am just going to advance the slides here. See if that'll work for me. Here we go. So I'll start with Enfield. At Enfield, one of the pieces of feedback we received was that the students in the STEM classroom we're having a lot of ancillary noise from the library and vice versa. So our in-house carpenter, who is phenomenal, by the way, Sam there's nothing I don't think he can do for us. Sam was able to enclose that STEM classroom, that's that center photo. So it now will have windows and a door. Students will be able to access the STEM room from the library, but also from the hallway at the second floor. This will be a nice addition, we think, to just the flow of classroom space at Enfield. In addition, as you can see, we're in the process of cleaning hallways and classrooms. They're in pretty good shape right now. We're going to give them a little bit more touch-up in the next 2 weeks. And next week, hopefully, when the kindergarten parents join us for open house, they're going to find the building to their liking. And then we also had the gym floor redone. So you can see there the gym is in very good shape. And so things are moving along well at Enfield. At Erdenheim, we did a few major projects that I'm very excited about. So first of all, on the left side there, you see 2 photos. in the exterior landscaping. This is the hill on the bottom picture. This is the hill behind the lower playground. And we talked a lot about the fact that we wanted an amphitheater, an outdoor amphitheater at some point. And we also wanted to try to clean up some of the overgrowth in different spaces. So if you go to the parking lot at Erdenheim, you will find that we've now pruned up all the trees. So we have a beautiful tree canopy there. And we have brought down to the ground all of that overgrowth. What'll be nice there is that you can have outdoor assemblies at Erdenheim. I spoke with our music department about the fact that they could do some outdoor concerts if they like. And it'll just be a really nice, comfortable space for students during the day as well. On the left-hand side, where you see some, at the top picture there, where you see some black coverage, we're looking to plant ivy there. That'll be less invasive and less chance for overgrowth, because that hill is a little bit more steep, and we do want to be careful about keeping the children off the hill where they could get hurt. In addition, just in the last few days in that center photo, all of our wood chips were refurbished, and we had new put in on both playgrounds at Erdenheim, so that all the students, and at Enfield, actually, though I don't have a photo of that right here, but that'll keep the kids safe as they're playing on the playgrounds. All of our maintenance team and grounds crew worked really hard this summer on landscaping and weeding. We had a really hot summer, and they worked very hard through those months to make sure that the grounds continue to look good. And again, as at Enfield, the Erdenheim gym floors are ready to go for fall programming, both our own as well as the community programming. Inside at Erdenheim, classrooms, the cafeteria, the library, they've all gotten a cleaning and sprucing up. They're going to get more cleaning over the next few weeks to make sure they're really ready to go when our teachers arrive. We also have new furniture in the lobby there. We have some great, comfortable furniture in the Erdenheim lobby. You're going to see similar furniture coming into the middle and high school soon, sometime this fall, in order to make those spaces more welcoming for our students during flex and our families during visits. In addition, on the bottom right there, I wanted to point out something that was really new last year, but I know that our team worked really hard. Dr. Johnston and our instructional coaches took the challenge of creating a professional learning space in the district. We were able, because of the shift of the second grade to Enfield, to open up a large classroom space at Erdenheim and create a professional learning center. So we have some flexible furniture there, and we're excited to be able to work on training with staff this year. We actually did some training last year with the staff in this space. So terrific progress at Erdenheim. At the middle school, you're going to see some really positive change in the appearance of the building. We discussed in the spring the fact that this is a building desperately in need of paint. And so you can see here's some finished paint jobs. We've moved to a steel gray and navy color scheme. The bottom left photo is one of the academic wings. That's a 7th grade wing. You can see that we did maintain some of the artwork, like the tiles there you see on the top left picture. And we maintained the mural, the mosaic at the main stairwell in the blue light hallway. But we were able to redo all of the railings, all of the stairs. The refreshed paint really looks great. And then this is the main hallway on the bottom right there, approaching the library, with the main office on your left and the library on your right. I can show you before and after about what a major difference it is, but when you walk through the buildings, I think you'll see that it really makes a difference in the appearance of the middle school. Also in the middle school, gym floors were redone and the stage floors were redone to make sure that we have a good solid surface for the kids to work with. There's a photo of the roof there, which we are almost done, the new roof. We have new fencing along Paper Mill, and all of the beds at the middle school have also been landscaped to make sure that we're getting rid of the weeds and presentable for the first day of school. At the high school, we've been sprucing up the restrooms. They've had some fresh paint to make sure that they look more presentable. The hallways are looking good, the floors are looking good, classrooms have largely been cleaned. And outside, I just took one photo there of one of our banners. Throughout the district, we have our new Spartan banners. And we did a first round in all of the main drives. There will be a second round to finish all remaining light poles. After we put up the first round, we decided we really wanted to finish the job. That's great. Yeah. Thank you. So we're excited about this. We've worked hard to pick that design, and we've gotten some good positive feedback. Also at the high school, as I mentioned earlier, all the athletic facilities are in great shape. The pool's been drained and tile work's been done, and the water is looking great. The kids are doing well in the pool. That's yesterday's water polo practice that I crashed in order to take that photo. And both our steel and blue gyms are looking great and ready for the start of the year. District-wide, I showed a picture of the water fountains there. I want you to know that all of our filters were replaced over the summer, as well as all of our HVAC units. All of that work gets done on a regular rotation. So air ventilation, water cleaning, all of that was done over the summer. All of our beds, there's Enfield there for you, being landscaped. We did have to replace some bushes that didn't make it through the initial Enfield planting, so they were removed last week. We're going to replace them with some green bushes coming up in the near future. And then you can see that we're in the process right now, that bottom right, in addition to being able to see a nice run of the banners there, we are in the process of seal coating the middle school lots and then Erdenheim lots as well, I think over the weekend. And that'll wrap up the seal coating for this year. So lots of work district-wide. And then we have also been working on technology this summer. So we have completed close to 50 installations of 86-inch smartboards. These are gigantic smartboards. They are going to provide a lot of opportunity for the staff and students to interact. You can see an example of that in one of our science rooms. That's here at the high school on the bottom left. We also have brand new iMacs in the high school design labs. And we've replaced all of the new software in all the TV monitors across the district so that the principals have ready, more easy ability to change. You can see the screens above my head. They can change those. They have a better design element. They match the rest of the district design. And I didn't take any pictures, but the cameras are all through the buildings. We had all of our cameras installed at the middle school. They'll be ready to go at the start of the school year, and possibly, as a result of one of the new grants that's been made available, we may be able to fast-track the high school and Erdenheim cameras, the additional cameras, with that new grant funding. We'll know in a few weeks. We have to apply for it, but it looks like instead of doing it over 3 years, we might be able to get that done sooner, which is terrific. And then I just wanted you to see, because Rich Oliver took me into this room, and I said, I have to share this with the board. So I just want you to know what, this is the motherboard. He wanted me to have special clearances to walk into this room, and I won't tell you where it is. But this room powers the entire district infrastructure. And so you can see the complexity of that system, which runs from the district out to places like the MCIU, and also powers all of our schools and offices. So any infrastructure work has been completed by our tech team this summer, and there's a ton of it, in addition to cybersecurity measures that have been initiated. And so just tremendous work from our tech team as well. And then finally, our Church Road site progress. I want you to know where we are. This aerial view, I want to thank Mark Beerley and his drone work for getting us pictures on a regular basis. This is a shot with Paper Mill to the left of the photo, Church Road directly in front of you at the top of the photo. This was August 4th, so just about a week ago, a little more than a week ago. Thus far, storm drainage is completed under the fields. We have our stormwater basin in place. The dugout and bleacher concrete pads have been installed. The restroom facility, sewer, and water mains have been installed. All the retaining walls for the softball fields have been installed. You can see one there at the back of the photo, like near the top. That's the outfield of one of the softball fields. And the restroom structure, if you drove by today, you'll see that structure going up. And the rough grade elevation is completed. We have 3 different elevations for the 3 fields. All of that work has been completed. So what's to come in the next 6 weeks to 8 weeks? Final topsoil grading and the sod installation, the driveway parking spaces and the bus turnaround, and the safety guardrail and pedestrian walking paths will all be completed. Mr. Thorne is working with PennDOT to make sure that our safety guardrail, in particular along Church Road, is very safe, because as you can see, that retaining wall, and we might have people wanting to sit just beyond that retaining wall, is quite close to Church Road. So we're going to make sure we have a safe guardrail before we allow anybody to play on that field. And so we feel like we're in great shape with regard to Church Road. And with that, that's the conclusion of the spotlight. And I'm happy to answer any questions. And that is also the conclusion of my administrative report.
Wow. I wanted to give a couple of comments and then open it up if anyone has comments or questions. First, seeing how clean this school is reminds me of my kids were at sleepaway camp. And you look at the house and you're like, oh, it hasn't been this clean so long. But then you just long for those kids to be back in there and making the good mess of learning. And so that's the only thing missing from those pictures. So great job. If you could please, on behalf of the board, thank the entire facilities team, transportation team, technology team, and anybody I missed there. That is an incredible amount of work to get the grounds in the school looking and being so prepared for our students. So great job on that. Second comment is, Sarah, welcome to the team. Very excited, and thank you in advance for volunteering and spending so much time to make sure the community is aware of the great work happening among students. And then awesome that we have a school calendar that goes across all three. As a parent, I'm super excited about that. So thank you. Great update. Any other comments, questions?
I just want to go on record on the microphone to say that I really like the flags. And when I drove in was the first time tonight that I saw them, and such a great addition. So thank you.
Thanks, Gretchen. I appreciate that. And I want to mention, because you said if we forgot anybody, so I want to make sure that I recognize our administrative assistants, because all summer they're the ones who've been keeping the buildings open and making sure that as supplies come in, things are getting where they need to go. I'm going to make sure we don't forget them
Awesome.
either. Thank you.
To be in on the DDCEE presentation on belonging in this. Was very proud to see our administrators presenting, and I also received some feedback. You know, I heard some talk about the presentation, was very happy. One of my colleagues had reached out to me as a result of that, so it's nice to know that we are setting some precedents for some of our fellow districts to do that work too. So thank you. Thanks to the administration and the administrators who presented for that.
All right, so next up on the agenda is public comments on agenda items. Since it has been a little bit of time, I'll just remind everyone, we set aside 30 minutes both at the beginning and end of the business section. In the beginning, it's for any comments that the public has on what's on the agenda, so that board members can be knowledgeable about perspectives from the community, and 30 minutes at the end for anyone who wants to make a general comment not associated with the agenda for the evening. So in this section, we'll invite anyone in the room or online to share a comment. The comments are limited to 3 minutes so that we have time for everyone. Today, we will have time for everyone, just given the number of attendees here in August. So we'll start in the room, and I failed to grab the sheet there to see if there's any signups. There are no signups in the room. All right, and just to make sure that we are clear, anybody want to give a comment? Awesome. Then Mr. Needleman, if you could let me know if anyone from the online community is interested in making a comment.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Bedard. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, great. I see Upkar Chopra signed up online. Hope I haven't mispronounced that name too terribly much.
And if you could just give your name, where you live generally in the district, and then if you could let us know what agenda item the comment is related to. Thank you. And you should be good now.
Upkar? can you hear us? You're on. It doesn't appear that Upkar Chopra is joining us, unless, can anyone in the room hear differently?
No, we're not hearing anything. So if you are speaking, maybe there's a microphone issue on your side? Okay, I apologize if there is any tech issue here. If you would like to, feel free to email the superintendent or myself, and we can make sure that that is captured as part of the minutes for the meeting. All right, thank you. We're going to go ahead and move into the business section.
Just for the record, Mr. Bedard, I don't see anyone else online whose hand is raised on agenda items.
And maybe we'll check in with Mr. or Mrs. Chopra at the end of the meeting and see if we can get that working again. All right? Great. So we'll move into the business of the meeting. First up is our approval of minutes. First, the approval of minutes from June 7th, 2022, the interim hybrid board meeting. The Board of School Directors approves the minutes from the meeting I just said, June 7th, 2022, interim board meeting. Is there a motion? And a second?
Second.
And remind me how I say all in favor, like what would be the right way for me to just poll everyone on that rather than do a singular voting?
All those in favor, say aye.
All right, thank you. So I will say that, and then you guys say aye, and then I'll ask opposed, and then you have the opportunity. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. We'll move to item number 2, approval of minutes from June 21st, 2022, our regular hybrid board meeting. The Board of School Directors approves the minutes from the June 21st, 2022 regular board meeting. Is there a motion? And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it passes. All right, this is good practice. We're going to move on to the approval of Treasurer's Report under the same format. So, the Board of School Directors approves the June 30th, 2022 Treasurer's Report. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Second. All in favor of approving the Treasurer's Report, say aye.
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 Any opposed? That will pass. Second on approvals on Treasurer's Report, we have the month ended July 31st, 2022. Do we have a motion to approve the July 31st, 2022 Treasurer's Report? And a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Excellent. Moving on to Human Resources, this was the rather lengthy document that Dr. Yannicone alluded to, our personnel and HR contracts. The Board of School Directors approves the following personnel as presented in the attachment Personnel 2022-0816. Is there a motion? And a second? Any comments or questions on the personnel file? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Passes. Moving to academic affairs. We have a confidential settlement and release agreement. The Board of School Directors approves the student settlement agreement for student 2022816-01. Is there a motion? And a second? Second. Any comments or questions on the confidential settlement? All those in favor, say aye.
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 And opposed? On to topic number 2 under academic affairs, tuition agreement. Recommended action, the Board of School Directors approves the tuition agreement between Springfield Township School District and Comprehensive Learning Center Incorporated for student 2022816-02 for the 2022-2023 school year, which includes services provided during the summer of 2023 in the amount of $114,233. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Any comments or questions? On the tuition agreement, all those in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed? We'll move on to subject number 3, Devereaux, PA Children's IDD Services Standard Education Agreements. Recommended action. The Board of School Directors approves the agreements between Devereaux, PA Children's IDD Services and Springfield Township School District for students number 2022816-03, 2022816-04, and student number 2022816-05 for special education needs from July 11th, 2022 to August 26th, 2022. Is there a motion? Any comments or questions? I do have one question. The document's reading till 2022. Should that be 2023?
No, this was just summer program.
Summer programming. Thank you. That clears it up. All right, all those in favor of the Devereaux Standard Service Agreement, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Very good, that passes. Subject number 4, the Camp Hill School Enrollment Contract. Recommended action. The Board of School Directors approves the 2022-2023 enrollment contract between the Camp Hill School Incorporated and the School District of Springfield Township for student number 2022816-06. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Any comments or questions? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. And opposed? Pass as well. Moving on to item number 5, the Elementary School Code of Conduct Statement. Recommended action. The Board of School Directors approves the attached Code of Conduct Statement for the elementary schools. Is there a motion? And a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions on Code of Conduct for elementary school? All those in favor of passing the Code of Conduct, say aye.
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 And any opposed? Move to subject number 6, middle school and high school codes of conduct. Recommended action. The Board of School Directors approves the attached codes of conduct for the middle school and the high school. Is there a motion?
Motion.
And a second? Second. Any comments or questions on the middle and high school codes of conduct? All right, on the code of conduct for middle and high school, all those in favor, say aye.
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 And any opposed? Code of conduct passes. Item number 7, health and safety plan. The Board of School Directors approves the 2022-2023 Springfield Township School District Health and Safety Plan. Is there a motion? And a second? Second. Any comments or questions on health and safety plan? I just, as a point of clarity, thank you for the updates on what changed, particularly around the updated guidance from CDC and updated position of the county and state to make sure that that is our source of guidance. I just want to make sure that we do review this based on access to the ESSER funds every 6 months.
Yes,
So even though it's listed as a full year, we'll still have a review after 6 months.
yes. We have to, at least at a board meeting, the board has to vote to retain the plan. So we don't necessarily have to revise it, but you do have to reaffirm it.
Great. Okay. Thank you. On the health and safety plan, all those in favor say aye.
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 And any opposed? All right. Item number 8, Linkit. The Board of School Directors approves the contract renewal for Linkit Data Warehousing, Analytics, and Assessment Solutions for $28,509 as per the attached. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Any and a second. And I need a second on that
Second.
motion. We have one from Ms. Hubley, thank you. Any comments or questions? On the Linkit contract, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Linkit will pass. Moving on to topic number 9, Lifeworks School. Recommended action, the Board of School Directors approves the agreement between UHS of Doylestown, LLC, referred to as Foundations, and operating the Lifeworks School and the Springfield Township School District for the 2022-2023 school year. Is there a motion? And a second. Any comments or questions on Lifeworks contract?
Yeah, I do have a question with regard to this contract. Is this referred to a particular student, or is this an open contract for the year in case there are students who need that?
That's correct. The
Okay.
latter is correct.
Okay. Do we have a certain number of spaces or spots or a certain allocation for this?
No. Dr. Johnson is shaking her head no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any further comments or questions on Lifeworks? Great. Then all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? And that contract will pass. All right, we have nothing on the agenda for finance, policy, property. So we will move right to public comment on non-agenda items. And I congratulate the board for moving quickly through those contract updates. That was good. I got a lot of coaching over the summer about going to this new voting format, which we won't do for everything, but I think these contract renewals made sense. So, all right, guidelines for public comment. Just a reminder, we got 3 minutes set aside for any individual wanting to comment, and this can be on any topic, agenda or non-agenda. And are there any comments in the room? We didn't have any signups, but since we have the time, I want to make sure everyone had an opportunity.
Jamie. Raise the place.
Mr. Needham, do we have any hands raised online for public comment on non-agenda items?
Mr. Bedard, I don't see anyone with hands raised. I do see some attendees, of course, but no one with any hands raised. So if anyone would like to make a comment on any non-agenda item, as Mr. Bedard said, please raise your hand and let us know where you live in the township. You've got 3 minutes. And I don't see any hands raised.
Okay. Well, everyone online, I appreciate you being here and listening in. Everyone who made it, appreciate that as well. Let's talk about future meeting dates. We have a board meeting on August 16th. Future meeting dates. Interim board meeting is going to be Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. That will be a hybrid format meeting like we had tonight. Reminder, that is the first day of school. I know that has come up. And we are excited to be back here on that first day. We then have a regular board meeting on Tuesday, September 20th, 2022, where we will get Sarah's first update from the students, and I'm excited about that. And then we do have some future committee meeting dates. We have policy committee meeting, back at it again, meeting Monday, August 29th, 2022 at 8 a.m. All information for those meetings is available on the website, and they are open to the public. With that, I'm not going to waste anyone's summertime. With the sun starting to go down sooner, I wish everyone a happy end of summer, and we'll see you back here on the first day of school. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Good night.
Thank you.